Well, hello and welcome to my show, Kiwi in Ireland. I'm Kieran, the host, and each week or month or whenever I put a new video up, it'll showcase a different part of Ireland that I've been to, and sort of tell you a little bit about the local history and culture, and I'll meet some of the locals along the way. For most of the time, my friend Stu from I'mCalledStu.com will be along for the ride with me, and so hopefully, being a local, he can impart some of his local knowledge, and we get a real feel for what it's like to be in Ireland as a New Zealander. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and see you around soon. This ship that we're standing on today was built in the 1500s by the Vikings as they invaded the north of Ireland, and has been used since that day, 1500s, to transport, initially obviously the Vikings back and forth between the two islands, and these days obviously more commonly to transport cars and people from Strangford across to Portaferry. So there you go, another rich piece of history for this beautiful little area, Strangford in Northern Ireland. Portaferry here, we've got a couple of local ladies. Ladies, what are your names and how long have you lived here for?
I was born here.
Born here?
1922.
Wow.
I've been 90 in a few weeks now.
Yeah? Oh my god. Whoa. What about yourself, man?
She lives here from the south of Ireland.
I came from County Cavan.
Oh, so how long have you lived here for?
About 45 years.
Well,
She's a school teacher.
oh, right, very good.
Was.
Not still teaching, are you?
No.
She's retired.
So, this is my first time into Portaferry. What would you say the town is most famous for?
Oh, very little. There's very little in it now.
Antiques and craft shop. We stand very privileged actually to be standing in the room where the first watercolour painting was ever drawn. So it hangs proudly on the wall, as you can see here, and there is something quite sort of magical about this place. Really, it sort of says, you know what, I think if I was sitting in here 250 years ago, I probably would have picked up a pencil, some water, and I probably would have drawn something fabulous. Every town throughout the UK and Ireland has its own little quirks, but Portaferry's is rather funny in that every person who was born here has the inability to see straight lines. In fact, we've got a great example of this here today, just to the side of us here. We noticed that these people, when they parked, didn't see the lines at all, and in fact everybody just sort of parks kind of next to each other. There you go, Portaferry. You've just joined me here at Northern Ireland's leading pilot academy. As you can see, I'm just using one of these state-of-the-art flight simulators where it's got all the controls that you need as a pilot. And what I'm just trying to do here is just bring it into land. So as you can see, we're flying over the Mourne Mountains there at the moment, and you'll notice the runway there not quite lined up, so high likelihood of me crashing this airplane. Didn't quite make it around that time, so again, this is what the academy is for. In real life, you can't sort of do this thing, but when it's just a simulator and it doesn't really matter if you crash, then it allows you to practice and get better and make sure these things don't happen in real life. So you say you lived here for all your life?
Well, I was away in England for a long time.
Oh, were you? Right, okay. Well, how do you think that the town's changed as you've grown up?
It used to be nice. It's back then, lots of shops.
The shops were 2 banks and a bank.
We took the bank away and we got it turned up, and that's a good run away.
Yeah. What you're looking at now is the Albanian pinefish, and what you're actually looking at are the last 15 in the world left in captivity. No one knows if there's actually any more even out in the wild. Once upon a time when these fish were wild and abundant in the Irish waters, they were a ferocious fighting fish. In fact, many lives were lost to the Albanian pinefish, and so hence they brought them into captivity. But without the numbers out there anymore, they've just dwindled, and they are all but thought to be extinct.
These tiny little fish are actually they were been around since before the dinosaurs. They were found frozen in the ice caps in the Arctic, and just these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's about 6 in there. I think there was about 12 when they brought them in here, but about half of them have died. But these are the last remaining of those fish. But they're said to be the oldest fish in the world. Survived the whole Earth changing with the extinction of the dinosaurs as well, and global warming, I suppose, or global freezing, the Ice Age, and they survived all that by being frozen. So. Jack Sparrow, you have a debt to pay.
It's said here that in Portaferry that this is where the first leprechaun was ever spotted in Ireland, and where the legend grew from. Legend has it that there was a fisherman out coming across the channel, and that the leprechaun was standing on the end of the dock with a big cauldron full of gold, and the story has it that the fisherman went in to get the gold, and then just as he was about to tie up his boat, a massive wave came in and smashed the boat against the side of the concrete, and that was the end of that, really. So there you go, another rich piece of history from this lovely area. Hello and welcome to Northern Ireland's sanctuary for troubled youth seals. Now what you're looking at here is just one-way mirror of the holding pen for these delinquent seals, and they've been arrested on certain crimes, water-related crimes, stealing fish, and generally terrorising the locals. So this is the holding pen where we keep the troubled youth seal pups, where they learn to adapt to society and become valued members of the public.
It's a pretty place.
Yeah, it is.
And the view's lovely when you're at the shore and the surrounding places.
Yeah, as you can see, this is the local air traffic coming in. Of course, Portaferry being the large international tourist hub that it is, we do need to keep a close monitor on what planes coming in, what planes going out. Make sure there's no collisions in there. Safety is obviously paramount. So this is why we've got the state-of-the-art facility up here in Portaferry, in the Northern Ireland Aquarium. It's based inside there, just to cut costs, obviously. So yes, it's all state-of-the-art stuff. I mean, Breaker, Bravo, X1, X-Ray, Tango. Obviously we've got British Airways and Air Canada. They both fly out of Portaferry. And we've got the local times up here on the wall, Tokyo and Canberra. In case we've got flights coming in late or we need to send them off to different destinations. So it's pretty much how it works up here in air traffic control at Portaferry. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tour. we're looking at here is the African never-landing duck. It's an interesting little character actually. 364 days of the year, this wee bugger here is up in the air, flapping its wings all day, every day. It just simply does not tire. Researchers have been trying to find out how to harness this sort of stamina and pass it into humans, but as yet we haven't quite discovered the secret. We're very, very privileged today to have it as it's one day of the year on the ground, where it re-rests and gets enough energy for the next 364 days. It's the African never-landing duck. No, I haven't been there yet.
Well, if you go down that road there, you'll see the stuff what we call the stuff. It's like a tower. And then you go way up there, you can see Scott.
Oh wow.
Relative to that. And you can see it's beautiful something. I had an outreach or something the other day. This is years ago, I was very old. And I just went there and see. And she said, "You're so amazing. This is when I've come all the way from Canada to see."
Well, ladies, thanks very much for your time.
It's a beautiful view.
Yeah, we'll go up there up to Wyndham.
And there's lovely small villages right on the coast. You know, where we have swimming and all the summer. Nice beaches.
Ladies, thank you very much for your time.
That's all right. Enjoy your holiday.
Thanks very
Enjoy
much.
the rest of the
Thank
time.
you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.